Hello, Gelato Familia. We are back with another Out of Theater review. This time, Wicked for Good. I don't know. Honestly, I'm usually never lost for words. I really am. Like that. I'm the Italiano, But there are certain movies that are made where you can feel every raw emotion. And I can't really say too many movies recently, but I'm a person who wears his heart on his sleeve, and I'm very open and vocal about that. There has only been one movie in the entire history of cinema that has made me legitimately cry, and that was Fox and the Hound. Still to this very day, it still makes me cry. The one scene when Farmer Tweed is releasing Todd into the forest with the somber music in the background. I don't know, maybe it's the music tied to the scene. But anyway, that's the only movie that's ever made me cry. Bambi, no. It's sad, but no. Titanic, no. Like there really isn't. Toy Story 2 with Jesse's scene, no, didn't make me cry. Even Up, in the beginning of the montage, no, it didn't. It didn't make me. It didn't make me cry. But for some reason, this movie really got me. It got both of us.
Yeah.
Like, we're literally just sitting there, like, tears are just like streaming down our face with one couple scenes in particular, closer to the end of the movie, which we won't spoil that. You guys have to come see it for yourself.
Yeah.
But it was kind of an emotional roller coaster because, like, throughout the movie, you have some good moments, you have some fun moments, you have some funny moments.
Yeah.
And then, you get closer to the end, and it just damn near wrecks you. We're still actually recovering from it, which, as I said, John M. Chu, the director of both Wicked movies, I mean, he did a phenomenal job. I have seen the Broadway show.
Yeah, I have too.
But I don't even think that even left an impact of what this movie did.
I liked the Broadway.
Yeah.
But seeing it in theaters was...
Yeah, and Cynthia and Ariana did amazing performances. A lot of people were saying Ariana deserves an Oscar nod. I agree with that, but so does she.
Yeah.
They both do. They both deserve the Oscar nod because literally, to the fact that this movie made me cry, as I said, only one other movie did, and that was The Fox and the Hound. Now I could actually put two to the roster. It's just something about certain moments. I take that back. I didn't cry with Up. I got choked up. I do get choked up with movies, but this and The Fox and the Hound, like, literally, like, I'll cry. Which now this just unlocked the door that every time that I watch this movie, I'm gonna end up crying. So, but that tells you how powerful of a movie that this is. It sets the stage. The first movie sets the stage for this one.
Yeah. We watched it as a double feature today.
Yes. Yes, we did. We watched both movies back to back, which I thought was very important.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen the first one since last year.
Yeah.
So it was nice to kind of reminisce and regain, like, the knowledge of the first one to move into the second one.
Yeah.
I will also say, too, that I love the classic Wizard of Oz. I mean, it's a quintessential movie in cinema history, but I probably will never see the Wizard of Oz the same again. And literally from watching this movie, I've grown that I can't stand Dorothy. Like, she's a bitch. I'm just kidding. But I love, in all seriousness, I love how you can take a classic story and twist it that you could see multiple points of view of how things are progressed. And this movie definitely is a lesson to be learned and taught to the fact of that you will have many people go in and out of your life, and here I go. That only so many people matter in the end. And you really know who's there for you and who is not. And as you can see, folks, we're real, we're true. This is the real thing. This is the real deal. I highly recommend people to come see this movie. Come see it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And
support it.
I don't give too many 10s, but this for me was a 10 because it really hits a raw nerve. It really does. And I think it can hit things for different people in different ways in a personal matter. So definitely check it out. I definitely say it. We're going to see this movie again today. We're torturing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're going to see it again with Mademoiselle.
Yeah.
So we are not ending this. We're gonna end this part here, but we're gonna come back. We're gonna do a part two of Wicked, and because sometimes that you may miss some things, you may feel something a little bit different for another scene. So I'm glad we're actually seeing it twice in one day. It's just a Wicked kind of day.
Yes.
But as of right now, as I said, we're not going to close it out, but we're ending it right here, and we will be back after seeing it again with Mademoiselle. So stick around. All right, guys, we're back as we promised. Got to see Wicked for Good.
Yes.
Again, and I swear it is like, it's an emotional warfare with this movie. I don't think I've like cried so much in one day.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm sorry. I cried so much in one day that I probably did in like 10 years. I have to say the movie was just as good, you know, going in, you know, to actually kind of wrap myself around. As I said, I still give it a 10 out of 10, literally,
Yes.
just because of like what it actually did to me, like, you know, in my inner core. But I will have to say, now I want to kind of go over a little bit of the critic in me, if you will. So it's not on a, like a personal note, but more like of a critic kind of thing. I do feel like that part two, the songs don't really level up to the songs in part one. Like, I feel like the part one songs are more memorable, except for two songs that like really stick out in my mind, and that's the steamy love song between Alphaba and Fiero, and yes, yes. So there's a little steamy love section. You'll find out, folks, when you actually see it, and then of course the Change for Good song. Like that's the GOAT right there. And for all of you who are going to see this movie in theaters, which we highly recommend,
yes,
go see this in theaters. We give our opinions of like either wait for streaming or go see this in theaters. That song
bring a box of tissues.
Yeah, bring a box of tissues. Bring a bucket. You know, because it's going to be filling up pretty good. I mean, if it hits as hard as it did for us every single time. But yeah, I think that song resonates more with the context of like where it's placed in the movie.
Yeah, because I've heard it like in the trailers and everything, but when it's being sung during the time of the movie, it just hits you different.
Yeah.
Anyone can relate to that, and then it hits you.
Yeah. Now, you had mentioned to me that there are certain scenes where they're like involving like the main characters for The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
That I guess due to copyright issues that they couldn't say the proper names for the characters, and I think
Yeah.
that's also why too that they said that they couldn't show Dorothy's face.
Yeah.
Because I think they had a lot to do like with the Judy Garland and being the original Dorothy, and I think there was a lot of
Yes, the copyright
things.
issues do not allow the red ruby slippers, so they did keep it just how they were in the.
And I think it was in the book too. Like the book written by L. Frank Baum, they were I think silver, and I think that's what it was. So they went back to the original because they couldn't use ruby.
Yeah, and then if you catch it, they actually don't say Dorothy. It's Dorothy
Yeah.
and Dodo instead of Toto. So if you catch those little nods, they do try to signify that it is Dorothy and Toto, but they can't use the names
Yeah.
due to the copyright.
Yeah. And then also
But there is a Tin Man. And
yeah, but I don't think they ever really said Tin Man, Cowardly Lion,
No.
or Scarecrow. I don't think they ever actually utilized the names. But they did Wicked Witch of the West and Wicked Witch of the East. I guess they
do,
copyright things are so weird.
Yeah.
But also too, there was a lot of like mixed reviews, like from the critics of saying like, is this a good movie? Is this not so a good movie? Honestly, folks, don't go by critics. I really hate saying that. I know that's their job. You know, they're just going by how they feel towards something. But I always say, see something for yourself.
Yeah.
Because each person will have their own individual opinion and how it reflects on themselves. So don't go by a movie review. I mean, you can go by our movie reviews, but don't go by like the top like critic, you know, kind of like they used to have like in the newspapers and the magazines or online or anything. I don't even know if anyone even reads newspapers and magazines anymore, but it's usually all online. But yeah, go see it for yourself. It's one of those things where not a whole lot of movies or the sequels live up to the first. I know like Terminator, Toy Story, like that works, but like other than that, there's never really a sequel that like triumphs over the first movie, and I feel like this one has, even though it has a little bit more of a faster pace than the first one, but I still feel like it hit more than with the first one. Even though, as I said, the first one's songs were more memorable, but I feel like in the storyline, this part 2 was just a banger.
And then I just love how the story is just about the true love of friendship. How you can find that special friend,
Yeah.
and then it really could change you.
Yeah, it literally, for the good, that's what it is. You change for the good of, and then sometimes you have to make, sacrifices, and, Alphaba did that for Glinda and
Yeah.
knew what she had to do. And it's like, I'm trying to hold it together, folks, because like, if you go back in the beginning of this video, like we're both a train wreck. But they were also speaking of, I think, the director John M. Chu and I think Ariana Grande were saying that there's a lot more story that could be told. And Ariana Grande, I believe, said something to an interviewer that like they're not going anywhere. So even beyond the Broadway show and the original storyline, that they may be making another sequel. Hopefully, if it is done by John M. Chu, that he continues it well. Because I don't know how you can top that. That's like I don't know. That's a tough act to follow. But then also you mentioned too, because we heard that like Wicked is going to come into the parks
I hope
at
so.
Universal. So I mean, like,
There are moments in the movie that I can just see like how beautiful it can be in a ride, like in a nice dark ride or something. Like when you watch it, you'll see like I would like to experience that in a dark ride. If Universal can get a good dark ride out, they can really do something with Wicked.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do, because I would love to see it in the parks, incorporated in the parks.
Yeah, but yeah, because you showed me like the one scene, not to spoil, but like Elphaba and Glinda share a moment like on like a broomstick swing kind of thing. It shows it in the trailer, so I'm really not like, So that I think that would be a kind of like a really cool kind
Yeah,
of.
probably the right. So,
But also too, like we mentioned about like the original characters from the Wizard of Oz, and how these characters are in the Wicked series. They're not who you think they are. You've seen them the whole time and maybe not know it. So I'm going to give you a little teaser. It's not a spoiler. It's a little teaser. So you have to watch to see, like, who is the Scarecrow, who is the Tin Man, who is the Cowardly Lion. And yeah, so I mean, I think just to kind of like wrap it up like in a nice big bow, it's basically what we've been saying. This is a movie about connection, about friendship, about love, even sacrifice and betrayal, because sometimes you can sacrifice something for the good, but also know too, folks, that there are a lot of wizards in this world, and
they will tell you what you want to hear, and they can
persuade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives a very strong message, and I think a lot of people can take a lot out of this movie. And I think even just as a whole, like Wicked Part 1 and For Good. So as I said, on me, on a personal note, it gets a 10. I don't really want to rate it in a critic standpoint, because as I said, this movie just hit so many notes for me that it's a perfect 10 for me. Because as I said, there's not a lot of movies that make me cry. As I said, the only one is The Fox and the Hound. And what's so funny is The Fox and the Hound and Wicked for Good are actually similar, because they both made me cry during like a ballad scene. And two people are separating, well, the farmer and Todd the Fox, and then Elphaba and Glinda. And they both were kind of like sworn to be enemies, but then came back to being friends, but had to let each other go. It is just like, yeah.
I personally give it a 10 out of 10 as well. But I do recommend that everyone see it in theaters and rate it yourself. See if it really does hold up, and you can relate to it personally.
Yeah. Because, as I said, I think my tear ducts, there's like literally no water left in them. So, but in any case, this is now our full out of theater review of Wicked for Good.
Yes.
And
it was great.
It was great. This is Abby. I'm George the Disney Italiano. And as I always say in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay... wait a minute. I did it again. It's all universal, baby.